All right, folks, so we are in beautiful Seaside, Oregon, and we are currently at the Line-X dealership. Now, to bring those up to speed, 2 years ago I came here and brought the van, and they completely body coated the van in Line-X. And since then, I have been on many adventures, and I can tell you I couldn't be happier with the Line-X coating. Now, recently we went to Wasatch Overland in Utah and had a high top put on the van, and now I'm back here at the Line-X dealership so that they can coat the high top also in the Line-X, so that way the whole van looks the same. So they're going to work on that today, and I'm going to bring you guys along. Alright guys, so as you can see behind me, Cece is working on prepping the van for the Line-X. Now, with my experience in having the van here last time, this is the most tedious part and where most of the man hours are actually put into it. The actual application of the Line-X didn't take that long last time I was here, but we were here for 3 or so days just prepping the van with tape and making sure everything was prepped properly so that the application came on as nicely as possible. So this is where, like, if you do come and have something done, this is where you're going to see a lot of the investment made into your project done.
So we're going to spray the high top on the van, and the most important thing is trying to make sure that the color matches, which with Line-X is not always the easiest thing to do. It is a little challenging to blend the two colors because you're dealing with, first and foremost, pigments that are being mixed at different times, and then also the texture variations and things like that. So we got really lucky with this one because we happen to have some leftover materials from another job that are a perfect match. And so step one for this is going to be to mask everything up that we don't want to spray. So that's what we've got going on right here. And then we went through, we wired everything off, and mainly we do that because when we spray the Line-X over it, we don't want to have any paper or tape embedded in the Line-X. So we put a wire line down like you may have seen in the original spray video. And then we went through and we scuffed, we sanded, we cleaned, we did all of our normal prep. And then the last step was to go through and do a little bit of spot priming. It doesn't look like much when you look at the van because it's done in a neutral color. We like to do that when we're blending two different Line-X coats together, so that if you ever did see that line where coat 1 and coat 2 met, it would look, you know, pretty much seamless versus having a different color in there where you'd see the primer between the layers. So the neutral primer kind of just looks like Elmer's glue, but it's going to do really well for us. We've got everything messed up and we're just about ready to do the spray.
Alright, Cece, well, you're all done, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. I know you were really concerned about matching and everything, but I actually think that it came out like really well. There's a little bit of shine because it's fresh, but I think that will blend in with the rest of the van very shortly. So I'm excited. Yeah. Thank
you. Yeah, it was. It's always a little bit of a challenge whenever you're trying to blend and match, and but yeah, it turned out well. It went relatively quick, and yeah, glad to have it done.
A little less work than when we did the whole van, but still, there was still a fairly considerable amount of time put into getting everything taped off and just getting everything to work. But yeah, I'm really quite happy, you guys, with the way it looks. It looks so good, and I think once we get the rack on there and everything, it's going to look amazing. We did this, we blended this in, so a couple things that maybe people don't realize you can do with the Line-X is, if I wanted, and you guys asked me if I wanted this back when we did the van originally, and I opted out, but you can do like logos and some type of lettering and stuff like that as well, can't you?
Yeah, we can. It's difficult to get nice sharp lines on the textured surface of the Line-X, but we have some tricks. And we can do some, you know, color changes, we can do lettering, we can do designs, all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So, as long as they're not really finely detailed, just You know, I think the most important thing that I can't stress enough with Line-X is, as cool as it is, it's still an industrial coating, you know, so there are limitations to what we can and can't do, but it doesn't mean that, you know, you're just stuck with this plain black surface like you see on a lot of truck bed liners and rocker panel jobs. I mean, they're cool in their own right, but there are so many things that the product can do that you just don't see out there.
Right, which brings me up to the last thing we'll talk about is color and being able to do full body sprays. Not every Line-X dealership that you call is going to be willing to do this kind of stuff, right?
Right, not every Line-X is going to, but I feel that, you know, regionally you're always going to be able to find at least one shop that's going to be able to do custom work. There's over 500 Line-X's around the United States, and there's Line-X's all over the world, and there are some people out there doing some really cool things. So don't feel like you have to come all the way out to Seaside, Oregon to do something like this. If you decide to, you know, we'd love to have you, but there's, like I said, there's some great shops all over the place.
Right. Well, I will say, at least I know that if you bring it here, you're not going to be disappointed with what you're going to get. They do an impeccable job, lots of detail work. It's definitely going to come out good. And like I said in the beginning of this video, I've had the Line-X on the main body of the van now for 2 years, and I couldn't be happier that I did this, because you're going to pay about the same amount as a high-end paint job, right?
Yes.
Somewhere
Yep.
around there.
Yep.
But in the end, if you do a high-end paint job and you have a van and you take it off-road, I can promise you that high-end paint job isn't going to last. Whereas with the Line-X, it looks still as good to me as the day you guys put it on. And the thing that I really notice is my side steps is really important, because when I originally had the side steps done, a DIY product was put on the side steps. That didn't last 2 months before I was down to bare metal from getting in and out of the van. After 2 years of getting constantly in and out of the van, you can't tell at all. They still look just as good as when you originally did the side steps. So, like I said, it's definitely worth it if you're going to want your van to look good, but yet still have it be very functional and be able to take it places and not have to worry about stuff rushing up the sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like. If you're interested in doing this, definitely check out your guys' website. You can check that out in the description. I'll have the phone number as well down in the description. Anyhow, we'll catch you guys again outside.